Hi, I'm Sam, your resident fantasy reader,
And I'm Morgan, your romance reader, and we welcome you to Just One More Page.
where it's never just one more page.
Hello.
Hello. We are once again awkward at starting this podcast episode.
Hey, this is what, year 4?
Are we?
Yeah, this is our 4th year doing this podcast.
Oh my God. Wait, so Sam, I think when we do our 5th year, we need to take a vacation together.
That'd be amazing.
We need to take a vacation and we can do a live stream at like wherever we go. Oh my God, we can go to England.
We're allowed to leave the country at that point, and they haven't taken our passports away.
Oh gosh. Oh, I applied for my passport and I just got the paperwork in. I think I have to go.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is my first time ever getting a passport. I'm excited. Yep.
I'm proud of you.
My sister has her passport, but she hasn't gone anywhere. So hers like is blank, and I was looking at it and I was like, I am determined to get at least a couple of stamps in mine.
My old passport had when I went to China, and then when I went to Spain in it and stuff, and then like everywhere I went through Europe, like I had stamps and stuff. My new one is empty because I applied for that particular passport January of 2020.
Oh gosh, yes.
And we all know what happened in 2020. So it got delayed. I was supposed to get it at the end of February. I didn't get my new passport till like June. The reason why I got the passport was obviously canceled, and now we've gotten to the point of like we have my son, so we haven't quite traveled yet, and I want to wait a little bit. I want to wait till he's at least 5 before we get him a passport, because kids' passports expire so much faster because they change so quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much like long are they good for?
I think under the age of 16, but I think there's like a range. It's 5 years, but I think when you're like babies, it's like less because they change so dramatically, and you have to keep getting updated pictures. I'll have to go look it up, but I think when we get him 5, it'll probably be good for 5 years. So it'll be good till he's like 10, and then it'll be worth traveling with him. But right now, I think it's too fast of an expiration date for us to not know if we're going to travel anywhere anytime soon for us to get it for him, because it kind of doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's true. And then they are kind of pricey too if you are applying for one. So probably don't recommend it if you're not gonna. I mean, I think it's always good to have a passport if you're an adult in case you need to go somewheres.
Because we're planning on an Australia trip in the next like 5 to 6 years. So
Go right ahead. I am afraid of Australia. I will go to New Zealand, but Australia, like, and maybe it's because I've been seeing videos. No, spiders. No, snakes. No.
yeah, but that's like in the woods. It's in the woods. Like I want to go in like November, December when it's our winter and it's like their summer, because the opposite hemisphere has the opposite weather.
Is there a reason why you want to go there, or is it just because?
It's somewhere like my husband wants to go, and he's not like a huge like wanting to travel person. So I was like, listen, if you want to go, I've always wanted to go. I want to go to New Zealand too, because I want to low key go do like the Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings like Shire tour. And then I want to see the Sydney Opera House, and I think it would just be like a cool experience. It's expensive, so it'll have to be like a one and done. So I want to see everything that I want to see, and then hopefully that like plants the travel bug in my husband, and then we can go to Europe, and I can go show him where like I lived in Spain and stuff, and we're just gonna create some momentum here, so he will want to travel more.
Yeah, just like sneak in a couple other places. He won't notice.
Mhm.
Be like, oh, look, 1 minute we're in Australia, next we're for some reason on a flight to New Zealand. I don't know.
Listen, I want to go to like Japan. I want to go to Korea. I mean, I've been to China. I've been to Europe. I've seen the coast of Africa because I've been on the coast of Gibraltar, and you can see like the coast of Africa, but I didn't go all the way over. And then obviously I've done North America. So that's what. So that's North America, Europe, Asia. So I've done 3 out of the 6 continents that you can actually travel to. I will not go to Antarctica, so I've got 3 more I have to touch down, and I will have touched down on almost all the continents, and that would be really cool to say.
I don't think Antarctica is on my list either.
Antarctica is not on my list. I don't care how cute the penguins are.
Listen, unfortunately, no thank you. Well, I want to go to a couple places, but like Italy, because my family is from there and I actually kind of know what city we're from. I mean, I would like to like a little bit do more research, but this is what the information I got. I don't know how valid it is, but I know where like my great grandparents used to work. So I would love to go there and see where they used to work. Apparently, they used to work in a castle. I think they may have been like a princess. I'm assuming. I can't think about them being a maid because like I am definitely a princess. So I'm just kidding. And I want to go to Greece because I love anything to do with Greek mythology and stuff like that. I'd love to go and look at all the temples, kind of like look at the history. And then, of course, I want to go to England because I feel like that's a dream for me that we've always wanted to go together. And lastly is Scotland. And I know that a lot of people are like, why do you want to go to Scotland? And believe it or not, like this is way before I started watching Outlander this year. I've been wanting to go to Scotland for, I would say, since I was probably like 17 or 18 years old, just because I think that is super beautiful. I love their culture and the mythology around like their myths and legend in their culture. But basically, I just want to go to different places to just like learn the history and see different beautiful landscapes. Maybe it will do that next year or this. You know what? Let's manifest, Sam. Let's say we're going to see it this year.
Okay, we'll manifest. We'll see what happens.
Anyways, listen, let's talk about the book that we read this week, okay? Sorry for all the yapping, okay? But we are yappers. But this week, we actually read a book called Spiral by Khabra, which is the second novel in the Off the Ice series. Okay, this novel follows Eli, a newly drafted hockey player who is struggling with fame and the media. Of course, the tabloids are reporting his every move, which includes every woman he dates or not date. All he wants to do is escape the spotlight, and that is where Sage comes into the picture. Now, Sage is an inspiring ballerina who has dreams of joining the Aurora Ballet Theatre, but her lack of online popularity leaves her at a major disadvantage. And to make her dreams come true, she agrees to fake date Eli. Although the fake dating rules they set in place are falling away as they have to face their sizzling connection. So, Sam, what did you think? What did you rate it?
Okay, it was cute.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 4 stars on Goodreads. I mean, I did the whole book almost in an entire day and had my guests had not come over unexpected, unannounced, I probably would have finished it one day. So I mean, I did enjoy it overall. I had some problems with it, but I feel like nobody's writing is perfect. So obviously we're gonna have some problems with it. But like overall, super cute, super fluffy. Had to go back and figure out who the original couple was because they kept making comments about Summer and Aiden, and I was like, I went to the first book and I was like, oh, they're the original couple. Okay, I get what's going on now because it's definitely built to be like a standalone, but I feel like I was missing out on some parts because I never read the first book, maybe like inside jokes or whatever. I feel like I've missed parts, but overall it was super cute, and like you don't have to read the first one to read this one.
I think it's funny that you rated it 4 stars because I rated it 3 stars. If this is even possible, I may have overdone it this week with hockey romance books. Okay.
Spread yourself out.
Yeah, because I read like Heated, Rivalry, whatever. And then I read, what was the other one? It's like On Something. And so I read those 2 books and then I read this one. And you think that it's like a cute, fluffy hockey romance. I'd be kicking my feet, be like, ooh, look at all these cute moments. But instead, I was like kind of dragging my feet reading this novel. I realized, like you said before, this novel is the second book and like it has another couple. It's called Collided, by the way. And I realized that I had tried reading Collided last year and I couldn't get into the writing. And I hope that this novel was different. It wasn't for me, I guess. And like, listen, I like Collided a little bit more than this book, and I didn't even finish that novel, which
Interesting.
I don't know what that says about this book. But like, I think my main issue is that this novel is that even though things were happening, it felt very dull to me. Yes, obviously, there are some really cute, fluffy moments. I wanted something deeper. Whenever there was conflict, it got solved super fast, or the conflict didn't make any sense, in my opinion. I love my romance, don't get me wrong, but I also love angst, the yearning, and more importantly, falling in love. And I felt like Sage and Eli fell in love very fast. I don't know. It felt like everything was just too easy, even when it wasn't. Oh, one last thing is that this novel is marketed as fake dating, right? And you know, I like my fake dating, Sam. I do like it, okay? But it just didn't really feel like it did this trope justice. I didn't really get the fake dating feels from this novel, which is sad. And I will say, I'm not going to bash this whole book because I did rate it 3 stars. I did like the last half of the novel, from the romance to the conflict, but again, everything was solved pretty fast. And even though, you know, truthfully, I wasn't a fan of this novel, I do want to say that if you're looking for a fluffy romance novel and you didn't spend the whole week reading 2 other hockey romance books, then you should definitely check this one out. I mean, why not? But if you're looking for something that's full of action, and maybe check out another hockey romance, because for me personally, I was left wanting more. Yeah, so I rated it 3 stars. Once again, I think is because I read too many hockey romance books this week. I said, why don't we read 3 this week? Why not?
We're gonna go for a hat trick here, you know?
Do you have anything else you would like to say in our non-spoiler section?
Again, it's cute. It's super cute. I don't feel like it kind of follows like the typical hockey romance that we generally like see. Because usually I feel like in hockey romances, there's like way more like male characters running around. I also like too like that there was like a minimal number of characters you actually had to like kind of keep track of too. So I was appreciative of that. So I don't know, cute book overall. And I mean, I'll still stick with my 4 stars. I liked it. I would definitely go check it out. I would read the first one. I would read Collide before I read Spiral, but still, go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, definitely go check it out. You might like it. We're never not gonna say don't read a book just because like I didn't like it or you didn't like it. Definitely check it out on your own, see if you like it or not. Because sometimes I like my bread better and better than you might not. So go check it out, okay? Does that make sense? Probably not. Anyways, I can't tell I just woke up from a nap. I am too well rested. Anyways, we are now going to go into our spoiler section. If you have yet to read Spiral and you don't want to be spoiled, then please check out last week's episode in which we read a young adult novel that follows academic rivals who have to work together. And that novel was called The Rival by Emma Lord. If you've already read Spiral or you want to be crazy and be spoiled, which, I mean, girl, go ahead, do it, then listen to us deep dive into this novel. Okay, Sam. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to talk about what I want to talk about first?
Okay, I just want to talk about the third act of this book.
Okay, I like the third act.
You like the third act? Okay, I felt like we got this whole story. We got the beginning, the middle, and the end of their relationship, and it was like, okay, here's like some ballet drama we're gonna throw in. I feel like the book could have ended 4 or 5 chapters sooner than it actually did. I liked the epilogue. I thought it was cute that like they adopted someone. I wish they had put the detail in that they had gotten married prior to the adoption point because I was very confused for a minute, and I was like, you adopted a whole ass child while getting married, and she's like, oh, we got married 3 years prior, and I'm like, say that first. Anyway, no shade to anybody who like adopts without getting married. I just feel like it would make most sense to adopt with a person you've gotten married to because commitment. The whole like ballet drama, like I feel like was an unnecessary piece unless you had like put it more toward the center of the book. Because the whole point of her not getting into these ballet companies, and I don't know nothing about ballet, so I don't know if it's legitimate or if this was just for the plot. But like she didn't get into these companies because she didn't have a good social media.
But even after she had a good social media presence, she still didn't get these parts.
It took so long for her to get this part. I felt like her getting into the ballet company should have happened like way sooner in the book for them to have like a little bit of drama of like maybe he had to go out of town and like played up the media likes to call him this like player bad boy guy and drama into like the fake dating or I don't know, or drama with her and the person she was partnered with or whatever, and then the crazy girl who was trying to get her basically to break her ankle. I don't know. I felt like that third act was unnecessary because it happened as the third act. It could have been like something sprinkled in sooner in the book.
I think if you haven't read the book, Sage is given the role as a swan princess and she's doubted at every turn because people don't think that she belongs there. And then the girl who tries to sabotage her is another ballerina called Ashley who thinks that she deserves the part. I personally would have loved if this was the main plot line of the story instead of it being at the end. I do agree with you. It felt very random. It's like, why is this even in here? And I understand maybe the writer wanted to put in there to show like, oh, she is doing her dream. I do agree with you. There was unnecessary things happening where it's like that Ashley's going against her. I would have loved it as the main plot line because I think that it would have been interesting to see Sage going against other ballerinas, maybe her having to go on fake dates, trying to hold on to her spot because maybe someone saw that she was dating him and was like, oh my God, like I love him. You can be this part or something. And even maybe a part where Ashley tries to get her relationship exposed to the press. And then we could even have a mentorship program to Zimmerman where she gets respect from him. But instead, I agree, it was kind of pushed together. And I think like for me personally, I think there was many things I would have done different with this novel. Once again, ballerina, main plot point would have been interesting. I also wanted more scenes with her brother. I felt like we got a lot of, oh, I gotta pick up my brother's medicine. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And her brother is off at school and I understand she doesn't really see him too much, but I really didn't get that overwhelming feeling of I work, do ballet, I do all this extra stuff and I take care of my brother, but I really didn't get that sense of her taking care of him because she never saw him.
especially when they were talking about like how much she had to like fight to become his guardian. I get wanting to take care of your own, but at the same time, her uncle went to go petition to become his guardian and she like fought it. She was like, no, I'm going to take care of him and I've proven I can take care of him. How did she prove she could take care of him if she could barely afford her apartment and his medication?
Exactly. Although we are told this, we don't really get to see this.
I understand there's a lot of struggling parents out there, there's a lot of struggling guardians, a lot of people out there who are older siblings who are guardians to their younger siblings, and it's a lot of responsibility on them. But yeah, I didn't feel the struggle or the strife, especially like her apartment burned down so early on and because candles. And then she just happened to be in Elias's dorm frat, whatever apartment place. And she's been perfectly fine this whole time. I was like, I want this struggle. But it was such a part of her personality that like it would have made the most sense to show us the struggle or how the struggle would affect their relationship because she has to work so much and how to like kind of keep this fake relationship going that's supposed to be this realistic thing if she's like working all the time.
Yeah, I love the fact that her apartment burned down because it gave a little bit more extra like spice to the story. And I understand the writer put it in there to get her to stay at the hockey house. Once again, I felt like it just didn't like deliver. Like there was no angst, there was no drama. It's just like, oh, my apartment burned down because I left candles on. Oops, my bad. Like I wanted the drama. I guess he did run to her and was like, "Are you okay?" Like I wasn't into the story, and I guess that was the biggest issue was that I just wasn't into it. I think that we were also robbed with the relationship that she had with Nina, which is the girl that she adopted, and Nina is a classmate that she has, or not classmate, but a student she has because she teaches ballet. And she thinks that Nina has a bad parents. And in the end, it's revealed that her parents left her at the studio and then never came back. And then she was like, okay, I guess you're mine. LOL.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, if she's been your student for this long, wouldn't you, I don't know, try to take her home? Or something. She was like, we just went to the courthouse and we filed for like emergency custody. And it was like, but did you have a reason to do that? Was she showing like she wasn't being taken care of? Is there obvious reasons why her parents just upped and poof? I get like trying to create like a mirror of Sage's life and her parents just leaving, and then Nina's parents just leaving, and her kind of like reconciling her childhood trauma by like helping someone else out of their childhood trauma. I get it. But I feel like it was a very rushed plot point that probably didn't need to happen unless it happened sooner.
Yes, and you know what would have been great though if it was throughout the story of her taking care of Nina and then maybe even her standing up to her, like Nina's parents and having that conversation to Nina's parents, the type of conversation that she wants to have to her parents, which by the way, I love the fact that Sage is over here dropping that her parents are on the run from the cop. She's like, yeah, my parents are on the run. Like what? Are we not going to talk more into this?
And it never came up. Their daughter is famous. And why didn't they just like reappear somewhere? Because Eliza's bio dad showed up all of a sudden, even if it was like for a minute and like on the news. And then he low key had like a heart attack. I'm not laughing at the heart attack. I'm just laughing at the plot point of the heart attack.
Sam, why be so heartless?
We were talking about the news segment, and then he clutches his chest and fell over. And I'm like, dude just had a heart attack on national TV. I was like, way to get rid of a character.
There you go. Just heart attack. Take him out. Like, listen, that is another plot point that I felt like was just so random. And I know writing books are hard. And I know that as someone who loves to write, I look at books as like, how would I write it? And I would have not written it the way that she did. Unfortunately, I think I would have once again add like her being part of this company for the storyline, maybe him struggling with his dad. And then maybe something happens where she thinks that he's doing something bad, but in reality is his dad just being gross. And then her and her parents and then Nina. But I felt like everything was just so rush and frustrating and everything got solved so fast, and I wanted more angst, I wanted more drama, and I wanted more fake dating. Okay, the whole reason why they're fake dating is because Eli wants the female like fans to leave him alone, I guess, which by the way, that one lady,
and I wanted more from that one lady who kept showing up in his bed.
Yes,
that would have been like a fun like plot point of her just trying to like constantly sabotage this fake dating because she's like, I love you, and she just kind of disappeared, and I was kind of sad about that.
Like, I wanted her to be, like you said, like, I want her to cause chaos, okay? But that didn't happen. Of course, the whole reason why Sage agrees to date him is because she wants to have more of a social presence to get gigs. And we've already talked about how that never happened till the end of the book. So anyways, the whole reason why they're fake dating is to help their careers. I felt like Eli does one press conference. He's like, that's my girlfriend. And then she gets mad about it. She's like, how dare you say I'm your girlfriend when I told you that we should fake date and you said no. And now you
How
are
dare you give me what I want?
dare you. That is so rude.
And then his whole like issue, it was an issue, but it was a non-issue, was that he couldn't make a goal. He's got like 600 assist shots. And I don't really watch hockey, so I don't know. I don't know how common getting a goal is or like how high scoring the games are. But if dude's assisting on every single shot and they're winning these games, like why are y'all giving him so many issues for not making a shot? That's number one. And number two, if you're really that mad about him not making goals, put him on the bench.
Yeah.
Like you could have benched him. Why do you keep putting him in on the ice?
How is him getting a girlfriend gonna help him scoring? Because at the end of the day, it wasn't about his image. Because if it was about his image, she could have easily written in scenes where she was like, hey, coach is mad at you because you saw with another girl, and maybe sitting him down and be like, you were kicking you off the team, you ruined the name of the team, whatever.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like, you're just a bad player.
You're an overall great player, except for some reason you can't make a goal, so you suck, and we're probably going to cut you at the end of the year. And I'm like, this makes no sense if he's good all around. Like, the goalie never makes goals.
Yes.
So, like, you know?
So then, like, they have to fake date. He says one press conference that we're dating, and then someone asks like an immature question about her parents, and then he's like, I'm not gonna talk about that. And then the press like respects him. And then guess what? They don't even really have to fake date, Sam. They don't, because no one's like, oh my god, you guys have to go events together, which they did go, I guess, kind of to one thing. Because with fake dating, there's that whole chemistry of like, we gotta pretend that we like each other. But the whole time they liked each other. So it wasn't like that thing of like, oh, we both like each other, but we have this boundary of fake dating.
And they kept admitting to each other they liked each other. It was like, but this has an expiration date. Why does it have an expiration date? There's no reason for the expiration date. It's not like she's going back to a different country on a specific time. Like, whatever. There was no reason to have an expiration date. They could have just been like, yeah, we're just dating for real, whatever. Like, the lines got blurred and who cares? Because a lot of fake dating tropes, they have kind of like a cutoff line, and there's a reason there's a cutoff line. There was really no reason for them to like have an expiration date.
See, like, that's why I get so frustrated with this book, because I was like, if it had a good fake dating in it, it focused more on her maybe being a ballerina or whatever. Like, if things were just more like more hearty, more, and I know this is a cute, fluffy romance, but they do talk about a lot of dark stuff, such as like, you know, child abuse and child neglect. But yet they're like, here's a fluffy part of the book, and you're like, oh, okay. But I do want to ask you your opinion on one thing.
Okay.
What was your reaction when they're like, oh, we're gonna get hot and heavy, and he's like, I can't. Oh, I just hit my mic. He's like, I can't. I'm celibate.
Okay, I wasn't gonna bring it up because I didn't know how it would like be perceived, but okay, I'm not laughing at the celibacy thing. I'm really not. You know what I'm laughing at, honestly, is they made these rules, and one of the rules was they were not going to kiss, and then they broke that rule, and then they were like about to get down and dirty, and he was like, "We can't. I'm celibate," or like as a part of the rules of the dating, just being like, "Hey, maybe make that people aware of that." In the beginning. That's number one. And number two was her reaction to it was like this like great betrayal. And I was like, girl, I was like, if this was the opposite and it was the girl who was celibate and the guy wasn't, and he acted that way, we would be sitting there demonizing him the whole time, being like, you don't respect her boundaries. Like, respect his boundaries, because she just kept pushing them every time. She's like, I know he's celibate, we're gonna keep doing this. And I'm like, girl, he's already like made this line, like, stop.
I can respect someone who is celibate. I'm not judging him. He had his trauma about it, because if you don't know, someone took a photo of him after sex and it's not great, okay? And so he obviously had trauma about it. And I wish that in this book they worked through his trauma and her trauma. But instead, once again, it was her pushing the line. And I did not like that. But it was very like, what? But then it's like 50 pages later, they're dry humping. And it's like, okay, yeah, I guess you're not really okay. But besides that, I thought this book did have some cute moments. I love her, Summer's relationship. I felt like they had a really cute relationship. I like the fact that he keeps buying her flowers because he doesn't know what type of flower she likes. So he wants to buy her a bunch of different ones because she's never been bought flowers before. I thought that was really cute. So the book definitely had cute moments. But I think if you want like something hearty, if you want like a book that has a bunch of like drama in it, or a good relationship, or a good family relationship, then you should definitely check out this book I read this week, which was
not the book we read this week. You should check out this other book.
You should definitely check out Unsteady by Peyton. Corinna, I actually read this book last year and I reread it and I flippin' love it. It has angst in it. It has good family in it. She takes care of her brothers. She has 2 jobs. She struggles. She's a figure skater. He's a hockey player. It's so good. Definitely check it out. And I guess maybe check out this book too.
If you want a book about like love and dragons, you know, you should totally check out Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, a book I finished this week.
Ooh, congrats. Did you like it?
I gave it a second chance, and it was so much better than I expected. And I'm like halfway through Onyx Storm, and my coworkers are about ready to tear my head off because I haven't finished Onyx Storm yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you finish it.
And I've still got like 8 hours left of the audiobook. I was going to finish it. I was going through it, and then I was like, I gotta read the podcast book, and I finished it yesterday, Thursday. And I was like, cool, I've got 2 full days. And then my day got crazy today, and I had to go do stuff, and now it's podcast time, and it's 7 o'clock at night, so I might get a couple hours, but I'm definitely not gonna have it finished. So if you don't hear from me, my coworkers killed me.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, tell them that I will come after them because I cannot do a podcast by myself. That we've already tried that and that was very awkward. No, thank you. I will say though, Sam, I think you text me what, Wednesday?
Yes.
I think no, it was Wednesday night about the book because you're like, I'm 90% done. I will blame it to you that I had just started it and I was only on chapter 1. I was like, oh, it's really cute, right? And then I was like,
Trying to get a feel for it.
honestly trying to fish. You're like, is it cute? It's cute and fluffy, right? You're like, I was like, oh God. And then I was like, okay, I'll finish it tomorrow on Thursday, right? I maybe got another 10% done. So I got 20% of it done. And I was like, ooh, I got distracted by this other book I wanted to finish that was so good. And then I finished the rest of it today. I'm not going to lie with you. I listened to it real fast. I was like, let's go. Get through it real fast. I don't know. There's something about it that I wasn't a fan of. And listen, I'm not trying to bash the books. I think that there are people out there that love this book series. It's obviously rated 4 stars on Goodreads for a reason. I just think that I have read so many hockey romance books that I have a type of book I realize I like to read. And unfortunately, this one isn't it. But I think if you want a fluffy book, definitely check it out. Anyways, next week we are going to finally read The Rose Bargain, which if you don't know, we were supposed to read a couple weeks ago, but the publisher pushed up the date. So we're going to read it this week. Although I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe it was our mistake, but
No, we looked at this book back in, when did I come visit you? November?
yeah, back in November.
We double checked all of our dates. So I think it was just that it got changed after we had already double checked our dates.
It's unfortunate, but we also were able to move things around, thankfully, and read a couple other good books. Yeah.
It worked out. It's fine.
So, if you're wondering, The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith is a young adult novel that takes place in England, where each citizen can bargain something for a wish from their immortal Fae Queen. Except they are not bargaining belongings, as one can be given a rare talent for piano in exchange for one's happiest childhood memory, a perfect smile for one's ability to taste, which I don't think that's fair. I would not give up my ability to taste for a smile, but you know what? That's your life, boo. Although, when Ivy Benton's debut season arrives, it comes with a shocking twist. A competition to secure the heart of the Queen Fae's son, Prince Bram, which is a prize that could save her family and free her sister from the bargain that destroyed her. Yet, every glittering Fae deal has a rotting heart at its core, and the contest is a dark plot that could destroy everything Ivy knows. So, yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. You guys should definitely check it out next week. And you guys should also go check us out everywhere else. We do have a YouTube channel. You can find us anywhere else. We have a podcast. And also, if you did like this episode and you would like to support us, please remember to rate us on like Spotify or Apple Podcasts because it does help push our podcast out there to other people, and we would definitely appreciate it. And Sam will tell you about the rest of our socials.
So if you think we're absolutely hilarious, which fun fact, my friends, we are, you should come check us out on TikTok while it's still alive. We are Just More Page podcast on there for all the pictures, stories, anything else we decide to post. We are Just More Page official on Instagram. We're also Just More Page official on Blue Sky, and we just added Tome to the list. So we are Just More Page podcast on Tome, which is kind of like an Instagram style app, but it's definitely geared more toward readers, and it's been like a lot of fun kind of messing with it and stuff. Although low-key, I got onto it the day it popped up, and I got like my first post in, and it got like 9 likes, and then the whole site crashed for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I kept seeing that people couldn't get on. I tried downloading the app to kind of get on it, and I couldn't get on it. It would not let me on.
It is live now. It's really cool too because like you can make collections. So I have just like podcast episodes as one of our collections, and then I have currently reading, but like my name in parentheses. So when you're able to get on, make like your own currently reading collections, and so then you can like add it, and so people can click on your collections, and then they can scroll through, and it's only about that like one subject point that you made.
No one needs to see how many spicy books I read, Sam. No one. I'm
Listen, some of the shit I see people reading on here, you are fine. You are in a judgment-free zone, I promise.
I will be honest with you, I don't read that many spicy books. I joke around about it. My coworkers like to joke around about it a lot. They think I read like crazy books, but I'm like, I think the books I read are like this, where there's some spice in it, but not really.
Yeah, there's a plot line to it.
Which, by the way, I don't care. If you are reading erotica, girl, you do you.
You do you, boo-boo.
We love that for you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will talk to you all next Sunday.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.